Afternoon. This is Midweek Hump Day Devotional. My name's Pastor Lance Smith, and I'm the pastor at Swingley United Church of Christ in Monticello, Wisconsin. And we're out in the country, out at Deep Gap Church today, wandering around looking at leaves and looking at all kinds of things, and that's what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today, is the amazing thing that's happening in southern Wisconsin nowadays. You see, this time of year, the day length gets a little shorter, and the leaves start to transform into something very, very different. It's quite a show of color. It's quite amazing and how it all works. And starts out with a nice green leaf like this. You see, that green is the chlorophyll that's inside all green plants. And that's the original solar collector, you see. That changes solar energy into regular sugar and plant sugars so that we can have food. If we didn't have this chlorophyll, we wouldn't have food. All energy comes from the sun. But something happens when the day length starts getting shorter. These angiosperms, these flowering plants, tend to do something with the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll goes back in the plant and they kind of go dormant. And what happens as the days get shorter, they start changing. Pretty soon, they turn to a different color. Pretty soon, the whole forest is all kinds of oranges and yellows and reds. It's just absolutely amazing and beautiful. And then not long after that, trees shed their leaves. Now, a lot of times people think that trees are dead in the wintertime, but they're not. They're just kind of in a dormant state. They're not growing the leaves aren't on there, and all that chlorophyll goes back into the tree. The interesting thing about these leaves is, even in the summertime, even when those leaves are green like this, that color is still underneath all that green. Each tree has its own significant color. This maple tree is going to end up being yellow. It's going to be really yellow. And there's a lot of yellow trees around here. So those are all maples. Well, what happens is that chlorophyll hides that color. And all you can see is the green. Because the green is the important thing, you know. The green's the important thing, not just for the tree, but for all of us. The green. It's amazing. And then it transforms into different colors. Now, it's interesting, like I say, that color is always there, but you just can't see it for the chlorophyll. It's interesting, I think about us and how our true colors are hidden deep within us. We put on this front that, you know, we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're truck drivers, we're farmers, we're teachers, we're students, we're all these things, and that's the chlorophyll. The daily interaction, the daily workings, the daily moving back and forth. That's the chlorophyll. And it hides our true colors. Because deep within each and every one of us, there's a little bit of Christ. A little bit of Christ's love, that unconditional love, ready to come out and make this world more loving.
As I thought about these leaves today, I thought about the verse in John 3:30. It's a little short verse. The NRSV, New Revised Standard Version, has it written as, "He must increase and I must decrease." It's actually John the Baptist telling his disciples that Jesus is authorized, that Jesus is the real deal. They've come to him complaining that they've seen Jesus baptizing and preaching on the other side of the Jordan. It's kind of like Brand X, and wanting to know what to do. And John tells them they need to leave him alone. They need to listen to what he's saying because he's the real deal. He must increase and I must decrease. That sounds very, like very Zen. It sounds very Eastern anyway, because all the Eastern philosophies talk about emptying the self, but ridding yourself of all these things that are keeping you from being a godly being. Greed, avarice, longings, fears. All these things are part of the self, the ego, what makes you you. And is your ego so large that it's canceling out everything else in your life? He must increase and I must decrease. Are you leaving space for the reflection or for Christ in your life? It's interesting, science says that this color that you see is not really a color. That leaf is not red or orange or yellow. If that leaf is red, that means that what's happening is all the light bands that are coming down and hitting that are being absorbed by that leaf, except for the red band. And if we're seeing it as red, then the red is being reflected back to us. So actually, color is a reflection of the sun's rays. It's a reflection of light. Perhaps maybe our true color is the reflection of the light of Christ. He must increase and I must decrease. Just like that chlorophyll and stuff goes away, the self needs to go away as well. I need to leave a lot of room for Jesus, for the Christ, for Jesus' philosophy and Jesus' mindset to work in my world. Are all my conversations, do they have room for the Christ? Are they loving? Are all my interactions just and merciful? He must increase and I must decrease.
There's a Sufi meditative hymn that I'd like to end this with. It says, "Let my heart reflect thy light, Lord, as the moon reflects the light of the sun. In love, always in love." It goes like this. Let my heart reflect thy light, Lord, as the moon reflects the light of the sun. In love, always in love. Let my heart reflect thy light, Lord, as the moon reflects the light of the sun. In love, always in love. May you be the reflection of God's love in your world. May your true colors shine through. Amen.